Joe the frickin' plumber has gone to Israel as a war correspondent for a conservative website, and he's here to tell us what the truth is. Really. Well, I love the beginning of it. Let me give you that, and then I'll tell you all of his unbiased reporting. Now, he's a war correspondent for this conservative website, so listen to what he says first. I have thousands of questions, but I can't think of the right one. Then that would lead me to believe that you're in the wrong job, son. See, the correspondent isn't supposed to get on and be like, I just wish I could think of something to say. I have all these thoughts in my head, but I can't articulate them. Well, then you might want to go back to being a plumber, which you actually never really quite were anyway, at least a licensed one. He says, look, he's in the southern town of Sderot. I have a terrible time pronouncing that town's name, unfortunately. He says, they can't do the normal things day to day there. He says, like get soap in their eyes in the shower. I'm quoting it, for fear of rockets. He says, I'm sure they're taking quick showers. I know I would. Oh, okay. Later he says, I am totally unbiased, and that's why people look to me for news. So let me get this right. 909 Palestinians have died, including about 400 women and children who are civilians. And Joe, the frickin' plumber, is concerned that they can't get soap in their eyes in the shower, and they have to shower kind of quickly in Israel. We have an unbiased source. We have an unbiased source, ladies and gentlemen. Then he has this bizarre exchange with an Israeli reporter. First he's complaining, and he says, look, first here's his thoughts on journalism. I don't think journalists should be anywhere allowed war. The man can't even speak. That's a direct quote, okay? I guess he means allowed anywhere near a war, right? Okay, fine. Of course not. What would journalists be doing in a war? He says, I mean, you guys report where our troops are at. You report what's happening day to day. First of all, no one since Geraldo Rivera on Fox News Channel has reported where the troops are. And do they report things that are happening day to day? Yes, that's their job. They're reporters. They're not like you. All right. Then he says, you make a big deal out of it. I think it's asinine. I mean, you know, I like back in World War I and World War II when you go to the theater and you'd see your troops on, you know, the screen, and everyone would be real excited and happy for them. Now, everybody's got an opinion and wants to be a downer and down soldiers. You know, American soldiers are Israeli soldiers. This is a war correspondent? Are you kidding me? And, Joe, when did you go to the theater during World War I or World War II? But what he's saying is, I liked it back when we got propaganda fed to us, and we were the good guys, and the enemies were the bad guys. There wasn't any of this fancy schmancy reporting. I liked it back when I was a plumber. So then he's talking to an Israeli reporter, and he has this exchange where he says, the story here is that people are being killed, and the media is slanting and trying to make it Hamas is, as far as the Israel's being bad. Do you really believe Israel's bad? Direct quotes. Okay? The Israeli reporter's like, do I believe it? He says, yeah, do you? The reporter says, I'm Israeli, so, and Joe the plumber cuts him up and says, so answer the question. The Israeli reporter says, no, I don't think Israel is bad. And Joe says, do you think Israel has every right to protect itself? The reporter says, yeah. Remember, he's an Israeli reporter. And Joe says, you do? The reporter says, yeah. Joe says, have you said that on air? And the reporter says, I'm just a reporter. I love that exchange. Oh, God, how stupid is this guy? He's like, you're missing the point, man. I'm not supposed to get on the air and tell people that it's a bad war or a good war, that Israel is right or wrong. Of course I think Israel is not acting in bad faith. I'm an Israeli reporter, is basically what this guy is trying to get through this knucklehead's very dense head. He's like, oh, you do? Then why do you say it on there? Because he's not a talk show host. That's not his job. He's not a plumber. He's a correspondent. He's a reporter. Oh, yeah. And then he has this gem. He says that he is, quote, a peace-loving man. This is, again, Joe Samuel Wurzelbacher. His real name is Sam, by the way. says, I'm a peace-loving man, but when someone hits me, I'm going to unload on that boy. And if the rest of the world doesn't understand that, then I'm sorry. I'm going to unload on that boy? I mean, look, maybe he's trying to audition for a talk show host job or something. When you're a talk show host, you can do those fun turn of phrases. But as a reporter, you can't be like, look, dude, I'm a peace-loving guy, all right? But if someone hits me, I'm going to unload on that boy. You got that? Frickin' Brokaw, all right? This guy is an absolute fool. It's kind of entertaining to watch him because of what a fool he is. But the funniest part of all of this is Joe the plumber thinking that he's Joe the reporter when he doesn't understand word one about being a reporter. But luckily, we have his unbiased views from Israel. I really appreciate that, Joe. Keep it up. At least we're all entertained.